Hello, amazing ladies. Hello, hello, hello. Women helping women, hello. Thanks for joining. We are going to talk today about one of the foundational pieces of business. And I've been a business owner for a little over 20 years. So thank you for joining. Please comment where you're joining in from. You're joining me in my office in Anchorage, Alaska. Who has ever wanted to come to Anchorage, Alaska? Thanks for joining. You are joining my office in the trees. We live in the woods, in a cabin in the woods here in Anchorage, Alaska. And I thank you so much for joining. Please pop your comments below and let me know where you are joining in from. And if you have ever struggled with growing your email list, hands up if you've ever struggled with growing your email list. And I can't see because I've got the page up, so I would love to have some thumbs up letting me know that you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. And thank you for joining if you are watching this on my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. So you are joining me from Anchorage, Alaska. I would love to know where you are joining me from. So pop your comments below. If you're watching the replay, let me know where you're joining in from. And we're going to get going here and talk about an email list and how to really grow and thrive with that email list. Who is thriving right now with your email list? I started business a little over 20 years ago, and my very first business, I left corporate America to start a mobile dog grooming business here in Anchorage, Alaska. It was really successful, got it up and going, and I moved on from there. And that very first business, a little over 20 years ago, had an email list. And back then, for anybody who remembers, and I'm just clicking here to see if I can see anybody commenting because I can't on my phone. So back then, I had a Palm Pilot, and I'm probably way outdating myself, and now you know how old I am. But I would carry this little Palm Pilot with me, and I would update all the information of the client, their dog, anything, any pertinent information. And I would come back home and I would sync it with my big old computer at the time. And then I would print out the sheets every day and give them to the groomers that were working for me. That email list transferred over when I got into real estate. And back then, it was back in 2007, 2008, the company that I was in real estate with had a program that we could buy into and that we could keep our database, that's what we called it back then, our database in this whole system. And Alicia, thanks for joining. Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me okay. And again, please feel free to comment where you're joining in from. I am in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. So back then in real estate, they had a system that you could buy into, and you could update all the client information in that system. I believe it was called MyRed Tools, and it was awesome. And it was at that point that I realized the two most important things of a business, and they still apply today. The email list, where to house your email list, and your website. All this other stuff, which I appreciate this group so much, Christina. I love this group and all the women that I get to meet from all over the world. But social media is all extra. It's that core of your business, the email list and your website, because as you move, as you ebb and flow, as you grow, as you change businesses, as you change careers, you can take that email list with you and you can grow on it as you're moving along. I still have people on my email list from way back 20 years ago when I owned that dog business. And people that have been with me since 2008 in the real estate business. Now I know we all want instant gratification, right? Like I was scrolling before I got on here to get the perfect topic, to get the most views, to get the most amount of people opting into my stuff, blah, 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 right? The head chatter. We all want that instant gratification, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you nurture that email list, and I'm going to share with you what I do, and it's pretty simple and it takes some time and some work, you will get results. I had someone a week ago buy into my, and I use my hands when I'm talking. I apologize for that. I'm going to try to sit still here. There we go. I had somebody buy into my Visions to Profits women's membership community 2 weeks ago and buy into a workshop that I gave. And get this, she said she has been following me since 2008. She met me at an open house when I was selling real estate. I asked her for her email and I've been sending her things ever since. And she said, I've been following you, I've been watching you. So ladies, that was like a $600 purchase? Not bad, right? So you never know who's watching when you're sending things out using that email list. So this is the simple way that I do it. I am a very relationship-based person. I like building relationships, and I've learned in business that consistency over time equals trust. People buy from people that they trust. People refer people to people that they trust. Okay? So, and I have 2 dogs underneath my feet, right? One of them is sitting by a happy light. We have these in Alaska. They're called sad lights, which I know you probably don't care about, but there's one dog and there's the other right at my feet. He would crawl into that box if he could. It is a sad light, seasonal affective disorder light. I call it my happy light. So if you hear noise, that's Eddie underneath me. Okay, so I have a women's community called Women's Success Community. It's a Facebook group. When you have a group, you can ask questions. So you can send people the link to get into your group, and then they ask questions. I have like 3 questions, maybe 4 questions. And the last question says, you give Alaska Tracy permission. That's my business, Alaska Tracy. You give Alaska Tracy permission to send you updated marketing, business, inspirational tips and tools. And then yes, and your email address. They only get into my group if they answer the questions, because my business is based on relationship building and community. And quite frankly, I'm not looking to have everybody and their brother in my group. I want them to come into my group for a reason. I want them to be there because they're wanting to build relationships. So that is the number one way of gathering emails, is to create those questions, sort of a gateway to get them into your group. They have to answer the questions. Then once a week on LinkedIn, because I use LinkedIn quite a bit. I'm a certified business coach, and my background is business development and marketing. I'm known in Anchorage, Alaska, and hopefully in this community as the vision mapping expert. So I have a vision mapping framework that I walk businesses and clients and individuals through to really get results. And so I like LinkedIn. It's professionals. It's a lot of professionals. So when I get a connection on LinkedIn, I look at the person's profile And then I start to build relationship from that connection by asking them questions about what they're doing. I have never, and I use that word cautiously because it's a word I avoid, never. And I can honestly say I've never used an autoresponder on LinkedIn. The reason being, I think when I get an autoresponder, somebody's really not wanting to take the time to build relationship. My business, again, is all about relationship. If you're selling product and you're not looking to build relationships and to work with people over time, then this system probably won't work. If you're looking for mass amounts of people like right away, then maybe there's a different way to do it. And maybe you don't want to ask the questions. This is the way that it's worked for me to build my clientele, my email list, is to ask questions, to get to know people, to build relationships. And then I mention the Women's Success Community on Facebook if they would like to join. I also give tons of free stuff away. I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, and I put an opt-in on the show notes. I put an opt-in when I'm talking on YouTube, like right now on YouTube, because this video will go on my YouTube channel. I have a free marketing essentials. If you go to the show notes, you can download the free marketing essentials. So that's an opt-in. That's a way for me to get your email address. And then when you get put into my system, I use a platform called Kajabi. Does anybody know what that platform is? Kajabi? Hands up. If you're watching the replay later, let me know if you know what Kajabi is. It is and just so you know, I'm an affiliate with Kajabi, which I wasn't. I'm very particular who I affiliate with. I had used the system for a full year, and then I fired my virtual assistant. I got rid of everybody on my team, and I thought I'm going to roll up my sleeves like I just did, and I'm going to learn the system so that when I do hire it out again, I will know exactly what I'm asking for, how long the task takes, what it involves. So I started using Kajabi and creating my website. Kajabi hosts your website, sales pages, your email list, and you can tag people. So if you opt in for this marketing essentials, you will be tagged. I think it's under freebies, so that I can send you anything to do with marketing or anything to do with business. So it's a system, okay? There's a system. If you're just starting out and you are confused where to put your email list, there are so many great platforms. And the one that I used for a lot of years when I went off on my own as Alaska Tracy, that's my business, is MailChimp. And I believe you can host up to 1,000 emails on MailChimp, and you can send newsletters from there. It's a great platform. I loved it. I really did. I needed something a little bit more. I needed sales pages and funnels and all sorts of, and I got tired of paying a WordPress developer every single time I needed to change a word on my site. And so Kajabi, I can change things. I've learned how to do my website. I'm not a coder at all, and I'm 54 years old. So if I could do it, you could do it. If you want that affiliate link for Kajabi, let me know. There's a 14-day trial if you want to give it a test ride. Just private message me or put a comment below, and I'll send you the affiliate link. So find a place to house your email list and create a system. I'm all about systems. That's what my vision mapping framework is all about. It's about creating systems that actually get results. So my system is to grow the Women's Success Community Facebook group. Ask the questions. Get to know the women that are joining the group. Give them free things. I do a weekly tips and tools. I have a podcast. I give, and then ask. Give them an opt-in. Give them something that they will buy into you. Okay? So that is one way. The LinkedIn, the foundation is your email list. Oh, newsletters. Schedule out your newsletters. How often are you going to send people newsletters? And what are you going to give them in that newsletter? When I was in real estate, I had no clue what to give people, right? I had no idea. And so I went to people that had been in real estate longer than me, and I got to know them. I think I did it through LinkedIn. And I would say, may I borrow your blog for my newsletter, for my digital newsletter, and I'm going to give you credit. And then I would tag them in the newsletter so that they would get the credit, and hopefully the SEO would go up. So go to the experts if you're not already an expert in your field, and get to know the experts. Start networking with them. Start sharing their information and giving them credit for it. People love that, so that you appear as the expert in your field. Your newsletters, as well as your social media, are to be entertaining, educational, and enlightening. If nobody's looking at your stuff, if nobody's opening your newsletters, well, then maybe it needs some work, right? So ask yourself, how often are you going to do your newsletter, and schedule it out. I use an old-fashioned, for all the tech stuff I do, I still use an old-fashioned calendar. And I color code stuff. I am a calendar freak. And I know if things are not calendared, then they're not going to get done. I even calendared to call an old cousin after this call, because I know if I don't calendar it, it's not going to get done. So, how often are you going to send your newsletter? And what are you going to give to the people that have opted in, that are on your email marketing list? What are you going to give them so that your opt-in will go up? Oh, and you know what? I've got this really cool tool. Let's see if I can find it right away, that I use for, and I don't think she would mind, for titles. You know what? Just email me, or just pop a comment in and I'll do it after, because I'm not going to, here it is. Okay, 180 catchy, oops, darn it, I went away. I'll do it later. It's like 180 catchy titles that you can use for free for catchy titles for your newsletter. So I use that. I've used it for years, and I just bookmark it, and then I pull it up, and then I go to it for ideas of a catchy newsletter title. And every once in a while, the lady who did that blog on those titles, I will go ahead and tweet something out with that blog and her name, because I appreciate it. I've used it for years. There's like a science behind your titles of your newsletters, and you want them to be really catchy and really short, and use keywords to get that open rate up, right? You want people opening up your newsletter. So the more systems that you can put into place, the better chances of your email growing. The better chances of your email growing, the more chances that you'll sell your products, your services, your offerings. I'm a big, big, big believer of systems. If you have a system, you have freedom. I used to think years ago when I got into business that I was getting into business because I didn't get along with others and to create my own schedule. Well, I'll tell you what, all these years later, I know this to be true still. When I don't have a schedule, when I don't have a system, when I'm flying by the seat of my pants, that's exactly what I'm doing. And fear creeps in. I get fearful because I'm flying by the seat of my pants and I'm probably spending way too much time on social media. When I have systems in place, and I've worked with countless business owners and I've watched them put systems into place and I've watched their lives free up. It's happened for me and it's happened to countless hundreds of people that I've gotten to work with. So put those systems into place however you do it. I gave you my system. It's pretty easy. Does it take time? Yes, because you have to read over people's profiles. You have to show a little bit of interest in people to get to know them. And believe me, we all know if it's authentic, right? We know if it's authentic. You have to earn that trust. Once you have the trust, people will buy into your products. It's worked for me. It's worked for countless others that I've worked with. And speaking of systems, I have my annual Pay What You Want. We do it once a year. Pay What You Want Vision Mapping Workshop coming up January 2nd. And I am the queen of vision mapping. I've been doing it for years. I've done women's retreats. I've brought it into businesses. And I'm popping the link there in the comments for you. It is my framework that I've created throughout the 20 years that I've been in business. It essentially, vision mapping, sexy word for plan. So within those 2 hours on Saturday, you will create your 2021 plan. A lot of the people that are joining in are members in my Women's Visions to Profits membership community. And they're paying too, because this annual one on January 2nd, I give a certain amount of the proceeds to somebody or an organization I intuitively am guided to. So a certain amount of the proceeds will go to an organization. The women that are involved in the vision mapping, Visions to Profits membership, they get quarterly workshops included in their membership, and a lot of them are joining on Saturday because they want to tidy up their quarterly vision map. So you're invited to pay whatever you want to pay and join on Saturday, and we will get into you'll leave with your 2021 plan. It's a very unique framework that I do, and no vision map is the same. I love seeing all the different vision maps. I guide you through my system and then you create your map. And they're beautiful. They're really wonderful. And we will talk about systems and creating systems to really get clear on your messaging, on your marketing, on what you want for 2021. The more systems that you can put into place, the freer you will feel, the more free time you will have, and the more profits you will have. I love teaching people this framework and how to create systems to really simplify their life. You should see this dog underneath me. He's a Corgi pit bull, and he's curled up in a little tiny ball. Believe me, I know from experience and from working with others the impact that you can have by creating systems. And that email list and your website, they're like something that you can put in a suitcase and you can take with you throughout the years. I've carried my email list with me for 21 years. It's grown. People have left, people have come in as my businesses have changed. And that's the foundation. That sort of gives me a little bit of security, knowing that if social media were to go away tomorrow, that I would be okay, because I've got a system in place to grow my email list and to give them something to keep them opening up my emails, right? That is the core. Again, all this extra stuff is fluff. All the social media is extra. It's having a place to house your email list and a system. How often are you going to send the newsletter? And I've found throughout the years, if I don't calendar when I'm going to do it, when I'm going to send the newsletter, it doesn't get done. And I've gone like months without sending a newsletter in years past. And guess what happens? That email list gets really stagnant. And then when I do send one, the open rate's super low. If you're doing it on a regular basis and you're giving people really good content that they can use, you will continue to grow. Also keep in mind when you're sending that newsletter that the less about you and the more about them. So why would they click the newsletter? Think of their pain points. Think of what you can give them so that they'll open it. So it's less about you and more about them, giving to them things that they can use to grow their lives. If you have any questions, I am available, alaskatracy.com. You can find me really anywhere. Just Google Alaska Tracy and my name will pop up. I'm happy to help you. I love to work with women that are looking for calmness, clarity, and prosperity in their businesses and their lives using my vision mapping framework, as well as one-on-one coaching with me. I just graduated in December and became a member of the International Coaching Federation. I love coaching people to success. And coaching is so much different than consulting. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask or connect with me. Any questions on the vision mapping workshop coming up? Again, it really is a pay what you want. A certain portion of the proceeds will be donated. I do it once a year, and selfishly, I do it because it forces me to do my 2021, my year plan, and get that done so that I can show it to you as I'm showing you how to do the framework. So it's kind of a little bit selfish act on my part. Years ago, I wanted to go to this creativity workshop in New York City, and it was in, and I've got one more minute, it was in February or March. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do a pay what you want vision mapping workshop. If I get half of the money for the workshop, then I'll go. And the workshop was $1,000. And I think I made $600 and I went to that workshop. And moving forward, the years that have gone by, I do give a portion to a charity or individuals that need it. And I feel like this gives people the opportunity to join by paying what they want. Nobody knows what you're paying me. So there you go. Thank you so much for listening, either watching me live or the replay. Any questions, any comments, feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to talk to you, to share with you what I know. And I'm clicking out of here. Whoops. There we go. So thank you very much. Much appreciated and perfect timing. Okay. Bye-bye.